Thank you for listening to Interview with DJ Nocturna. Please like, subscribe, and share if you're watching on YouTube. And my guest today is the duo from a place called Cottbus near Berlin. They are an indie post-punk band duo. I got Rene and Cindy all the way from Cottbus, Berlin. Good evening.
Good evening. Hi there.
And welcome on the show. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, well, I love your latest single. It's called Sunchild. And I know you guys like the sun. I mean, just with it's a beautiful flow of energy when I think about the name of your project, which is Para Lia.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely. It was born in the Greek sun, the idea of that band name. It means coast or beach in Greek.
Mm-hmm.
And we choose because it sounds, even if you are German like us, it's very nice sound. The words have a very nice sound.
Yes, yes. So do you guys go to Greece a lot?
Definitely, yes. 2 times or 3 times a year.
Oh, okay. Which part?
We were often in the northern Greece part, around Thessaloniki, is after Athens, the biggest Greek city. And our favorite place is a town or city called Volos. It's in the middle of Greece. And the ancient Greeks said that the Greek ancient gods went there for holidays. So now we go and we love the place very much. Pelion is the name of the region. It's a peninsula in the Aegean Sea and has beautiful colors and a beautiful atmosphere.
So you guys started, I know this is going to be your third album. You're going to be releasing your third album, which is what I think is coming up in not till August. Okay. But I know it's a third album. It's called In Clash With The Zeitgeist. And before that, you released 2. Do you want to talk about the earlier debut album? I know you debuted Soap Bubble Dreams back in 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us how you guys collaborated. How did this all happen?
Well, when I was a young guy, I was playing in several bands and was a songwriter and a guitar player and also a singer. And I worked in several projects, and then I just paused for a couple of years. Because I was very busy with work and also with family. And when the time Cindy came in my life, she was a kind of a muse for me, and I started to write songs again. And when I started to record this, I had the idea something was missing in the song structures and all the overall atmosphere. And I had an idea, and I told her to come to the microphone and just to sing a second voice on one song. And that was the title song of the Soap Bubble Dreams album. It was the first Para Lia song ever was recorded. And the moment Cindy sang, I had the idea and the feel everything was complete then. And it felt very good. And so the project was born. Later the same year, or the following year, I know it was the same year, we went to Greece, and we were looking for a band name, and it was on a Greek beach in the evening with a good bottle of wine. And we had the idea, why not name the whole baby Para Lia? It's a good place, it has a good sound, the name, and it's one of our favorite places to be. So that was the beginning. Soap Bubble Dream, then we recorded and also published all by ourselves. And with this, the songs from there, we went out to an audience, and I sent several mails to several indie radios, and just to wait if someone likes this. And yes, they played it, and that was the beginning of Para Lia.
Yeah, and by the way, I know you were talking about her being your muse. I actually love that song, My Muse.
From the following album, yes, which was a great experience for us, because this album was a very big experience in terms of collaboration. We got one day a mail on a streaming platform called SoundCloud, where a lot of artists put their material there, indie artists, indie musicians, and you have the option to communicate directly via messages on SoundCloud. And one day we got a ring in our mail, and it was a painter from New York, Louis Renzoni, and he wrote that he really loves the music we do, and he said the music we play is like as if we use the same colors he used in his paintings. And so the conversation started, and we felt kind of a friendship building, and slowly the idea grew to do something together, to do a collaboration. And so with his paintings and with our music, Gone With The Flow, it's the name of the second album, grew and became a very interesting thing, with an internet exhibition where still online you can see the paintings of Louis Renzoni and you can listen to the music of Para Lia. And the collaborational thing also is in the music itself, because we have guest musicians from UK and from Canada there, and also from United States. And so it was a very special experience. And My Muse is also one of our favorite tracks. And of course, it's this muse sitting beside me. I describe this song.
Yeah, I take it she's the center here on this particular song. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what is the website for that for the art exhibit you're mentioning? Let me see. With Louis Renzoni.
If you go to one of the Para Lia associates, we have also our main website, Para. Bindestrich. I do not know the English word for Bindestrich. para-lia.de. You find there all the links to our associates, and also a link to the 3D online exhibition, where you can just run around and walk around and listen to the music, watch to some videos, get some information about the artists and stuff. It's like a virtual showroom where you can free walk around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you have this third album that's going to be released in August 25th to be exact.
Yeah.
It's released via About Us Records. It's called In Clash With The Zeitgeist. Tell us about that one. Interesting title.
In Clash With The Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist is a German word, and I think also like kindergarten, it went also in the English language. And we like this word very much because the Zeitgeist describes what is up to date. And we, of course, are in Clash with the Zeitgeist because Para Lia never cared a lot about which music is up to date. We always get our inspiration from the music we both love, and where a lot of 80s and 90s in it. And Clash with the Zeitgeist has also influences from, for instance, the 60s, flower pop, the early prog rock, psychedelic music of the late 60s. And so it's much more in Clash with the Zeitgeist than the two albums before there. And so the name came in mind, and we choose this. So it's a long player with 11 tracks, musically more wide than the two albums before. The Cosmos is a little bit wider than on the albums before. We have fantastic guest musicians also on the record. And till we have the release of the entire album, we will release some other songs from the album with a video. The next one, it's a song called Yellow Rose, and it will be released on June the 15th.
The Yellow Rose. Okay.
Yellow Rose, yes, will be the next song.
That would be the next song, Yellow Rose. Okay, I can't wait to hear it. But I Sunchild is beautiful. Yellow Rose. Okay, that'll be released in June. All right. In Clash with the Zeitgeist. Okay. And of course, big shout out to Shameless Promotion PR.
Yeah.
You know, always a wonderful.
Shona is a great guy, and also it was a big pleasure to meet her some years ago. Yeah.
Yes, she is. Now, Cindy, I know you had a quote here about you said that this is a psychedelic indie rock song for survivors.
You mean Sunshine?
Yeah, you did mention that. Yeah, you want to tell us a little bit about what you mean? It's interesting.
It's not so easy. We were looking for something what describes the song.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are some psychedelic elements inside. And also it's a love song. And it's a song about, how to say, not to give up, always to be on the positive side of life and all this. And I tried to find one word or two who describes all this. Yes, that's psychologic.
So are you talking about the Sunchild single in this
Yes.
particular in this? Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that I haven't heard the rest of the track, but I can already feel that is a very uplifting album.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's pretty much the focus, right?
Yeah, and psychedelic rock song for survivors, because the songwriting took place in the darker times from the Corona pandemic era, 2 years, and there's so many darker things also in Germany where we're going on, and it was not able to live like so many people on the globe a normal life. And in these times, it was much more than necessary to get some look ahead into the light. And Sunchild is, as in the lyrics, you can hear jump over all the black holes of pandemic fears. So this describes very good with what the song is about. And uplifting, look forward to have a good vibes. And psychedelic is, as Cindy told this, I told her this is great to describe this music. Yes, it's a love song, and the psychedelic elements are all over the album, not in front, more like the cream on the top. Somewhere backwards guitars, somewhere instruments coming from the late 60s, and the arrangement of the song. Also in Sunshine, the flanger effects, you can hear it a little bit. And so it's a psychedelic
rock song.
Yes, psychedelic rock song.
So who does the songwriting for the album, you know, for all the tracks?
It's always my responsibility. And if I did this and if I record some stuff, then I ask Cindy to come to the microphone, and she is the lady who sings them.
The last part for me.
Well, that's a really good collaboration. Somebody writes the music and somebody sings it, and yeah, actually it comes out really beautifully.
And for us, it is great because the contrast of our both voices we love very much, and we play with it in the arrangement of the songs. And this is a kind, I think, of a brand we have. The guitars, of course, but also the voices. Cindy's more Angel's voice, but my darker voice in the songs.
But you sing as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So it's great. Yeah.
I'm the guy with the voice which is not so beautiful, but I'm I'm also in the songs. Yes.
Of course.
Yes, but this is the beauty and the bee. The beauty and the beast, not the bee.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you want to mention? Do you want to do a shout out and tell us a little bit like who's involved in this album? I know there's other people there, such as the keyboardist, right? There's a special appearance by Fady Haddad.
Yes, a guy from Baltimore who also was on the last album on board. And I met him on SoundCloud a couple of years ago, and we immediately had a good relationship in terms of musical understanding and songwriting. I love very much his very melodic songwriting, and he's a specialist in great synthesizer. And he, even in the next single, I talked about Yellow Rose, which will come out in 2 weeks. He provides a great synthesizer there. And we have another guest musician, a piano player from the Staatstheater here in Cottbus. It's a big Art Nouveau theater with a great ensemble. It's a big house. And he is a piano player there, also a friend of ours, and he provides piano. We have another song on the album where a great baritone singer, an opera singer, also a friend of us, Andreas Japel, joins us. And and the collaboration also includes Georgia Moschogianni, which is a Greek artist, and she provided the album cover.
Oh,
And
I was gonna ask that. I was gonna ask
the
the
cover
album.
for all the singers is really great. And if the album comes, it will also come as a vinyl and also as compact disc for the ones who like to have something in hand. And the vinyl edition will have a great booklet for every song in the size of the vinyl. It's very nice, and we're really looking forward to release the entire album once in August.
And these tracks were mastered by a gentleman named Thommy Hein, who's I guess affiliated with the music of Nina Hagen.
The guy is for over
I love
30
Nina
years.
Hagen.
Yes.
Me too.
Thommy Hein is for over 35 years in business, and he had a lot of great artists he was working with. And also Nina Hagen, yes, and other bands which have a big name in Germany, bands like the Toten Hosen or the Arzte, which it was where he started his career in a sound studio. And for 30 years now or something like this, he has his own big studio, and there, yes, he had also Nina Hagen and a couple of other very great musicians there. And he did the co-mixing with us of all the songs and the mastering. And that was in summer last year. We had a great time in Berlin. It's in the center of Berlin, 100 meters away from a great Greek tavern. So it's a perfect place also for us.
Oh.
So we enjoyed the days in the studio and also the nights there and talked a lot. It's a great guy. Thommy Hein is a really great guy.
So what is the music that you guys are, what influenced you guys in terms of the music, like a particular artist that influenced you greatly, your style of music?
In Clash With The Zeitgeist has influences coming from the 60s till the recent times. And one of I grew up with music from the 80s and from the early 90s, but also with music which comes from the garage rock of the mid 60s from the United States, and bands like Chocolate Watch Band or something like this. I really love. An artist I have always in my mind when I speak about influences is Neil Young. If he plays with his garage rock band Crazy Horse, it's great to see him in concert there. It's great to see to listen how rough they play their instruments and what atmosphere they create. So this is a big influence in terms of creating an atmosphere in music. And bands I really enjoyed in the beginning of the 90s, when alternative bands came up, like Buffalo Tom, like Dinosaur Jr., and all the stuff around. This is a big package of influence. It was the time I was playing in my first band, and we were touring with a very old bus. And inside we have a tape deck, and we have this music on tour. And for yes, we were a long time on the road because the bus was very slow. But it was the time we enjoyed very much, and we had this on board. And yes, very big influences. And sometimes the last albums we were compared with bands like The Cure or my voice compared to the voice of the singer from New Model Army and something like this, which was surprising for us. But it seems so that some people have the idea, okay, it reminds me on those bands, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, I love the harmony and the voices on the song. Yeah. So definitely. And I can relate to that, touring in an old bus and with a tape deck.
Yeah.
Very yeah.
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 It was in a time, the wild Eastern times, because it was after the split of the two Germanys was fixed, and the two Germanys, the Eastern and the Western part, reunited. And the times here a little bit like the times maybe have been in the Wild West in the United States, because the law was not written in stone. Everything was in progress, and we had a lot of very special youth culture and clubs and the club scene and the music scene and the live music scene. Very special times. And we were part of it with the band we had, and we played for years, traveling with the old band bus, yes.
So, René, you play I know you play the bass guitar, the lead guitar, you play the keyboards and the drums as well.
And this is the point I now have to say that now it's a big metamorphosis, a big change which take place right now, because on the album, yes, we were a duo and I recorded all the instruments, and Cindy provided her beautiful voice. But we decided by the end of last year to form a Para Lia band so that we can go live. And we are now 6 guys.
Mhm.
And we now form a live band. We have great guys, Manu on drums and Micha on bass, and we have Remo on rhythm guitar, Dennis, who plays the mellotron, but he does with an electroharmonics effect. And so he plays the guitar, but with the effect, it sounds like the mellotron. And we are 6 guys forming a band right now and have the idea that we, by the end of the new year, by the beginning of the next year, are able to have a live set and to go on tour, maybe with a bus, which is not quite so slow as the old one, but to go on tour with Para Lia. So Para Lia, which here on the album recording, is the both of us and guest musicians, and Para Lia in the future will be a 6-headed band. Yeah.
So as of April 28th, Sunchild was already released.
Yep.
And of course, you can find the music of Para Lia on their Bandcamp page. Just look for Para Lia, Paralia, on their Bandcamp page. And of course, you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and all of those social media sites. And if people want to check out your earlier albums, which you have 2, Gone with the Flow and Soap Bubble Dreams, you could also find it on their Bandcamp page. And this album, the latest one, in Clash with the Zeitgeist, pronounce that for me again.
Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist, yep. Zeitgeist will be out August 25th. And we're looking forward. Are you releasing another single before then? Oh yeah, the Yellow Rose, and then is there another one, or that's it?
Yeah, in the beginning of July and in the beginning of August, we have a 3rd song as an outtake from the album, also with a video. And we have the album release then and by the end of August, yes. So 2 more songs coming and then the album.
Okay, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Then it's like a tease, right? You keep us really on our toes. Then what is the next? How's the whole album gonna sound like? We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining me, René and Cindy. Para Lia, the band from Cottbus near Berlin, and thank you for joining me.
Yes.
We thank you. It was a big pleasure.